What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Cup of Nations 2022 commentary. This time it's for the upper bracket finals, so the winner is going on to the grand finals, chance to win the whole tournament. The loser is obviously not eliminated, but just goes down to the lower bracket final, awaiting the conclusion of the rest of the lower bracket, and will obviously have a chance to, take on an opportunity to go to the grand final. So, uh, yep, the participants here are me as Rome and Hoplite as Suebi. Very interesting matchup. Um, Hopefully it'll be enjoyable to watch as well because it's definitely very interesting to play. Um, I guess we can quickly go over the Suebi rules since not everyone will be familiar. The Rome ones, you can just look at the other replays and you can figure it out. But Suebi has 12 melee infantry max, 6 melee infantry max, but 7 if you take an extra club levy. So you can take 6 melee infantry plus an extra club levy if you want to. 4 missile cav max, and then the rest are just normal restrictions. So a bit more infantry, which makes sense for Suebi. They need that since they don't have a lot of cav options, and that also is why they have that extra jav cav numbers. And then a bit more melee infantry since their infantry is kind of weak overall. But yep, so I did do a little bit of counter-stratting or anti-stratting before this game. I watched Hoplite play against Acer, and we'll kind of talk about what my strat was going into the game, and kind of what his strat has been in the other games. So let's get right into it. We are here on Medlon. We just agreed to play here because it's flat-ish, mostly. It's pretty normal. So we can quickly go over my army. Pretty simple. It's an army that we've seen before. 3 Equites, 3 Estadi, 2 Saki Equite Extraordinarii, Shakav, 2 Veteran Legionnaires, 1 Abacadi, 2 Triarii, 1 Vigile, 3 Archers, 2 Numidians, and a Legatus General. So, yep, pretty normal army for me there. And for Hoplite, he has only 3 Javcav to start with here, so he has 3 Dramatic Scouters, not mercenaries obviously, 3 Slingers, he has 4 Spear Wall up front, he has 4 Club Levy, and he has 4 Woden Spears with 2 Noble Riders. So, I mean, obviously we can we can look at this and be like, okay, yeah, that's a fucking fast charge. If you ever saw it, you can confirm he is on the Area Vistas General. And yeah, so obviously his intention is to fast charge, and I had watched him play against Acer previously just to see like what is his strat, and the strat is pretty simple. It's a fast charge strat, but what he really liked to do was aggress one flank, right? Because then you're moving so fucking fast that the other flank can't wrap around in time, and you're gonna kill whatever's on this flank. And once you get 2 or 3 units killed with the fast charge, you simply have too much material for the rest of the army to counter. Um, and that's a normal fast charge strat. It's pretty solid. It works well. We look at his army, and it's obviously what he wants here. He has a spear wall in front. These guys are super anti-cav, very, very good defensively. They're medium, so they have some mass. Obviously Suebi doesn't have a lot of mass in general, but that means that they're also pretty quick, but they have 81 melee defense, counter cavalry tactics. They won't be dying to cav very easily. So that's to protect his next line of Club Levy and Bloodsworn. Actually, he has, let's see, 3 Club Levy and 1 Bloodsworn, so pretty cheap melee line, but again, with fast charge, they'll be quite good. And then the meat of his army, 4 Wodenaz in the back there, which can really do a lot of damage, regardless of fast charge, but with fast charge especially. I mean, the stats are insane, but with fast charge, they're quite good. And then he has 2 Noble Riders to create havoc. So my strat, and he did this against Acer to great effect. He just rushed one of Acer's flanks. He killed like 1 or 2 of Acer's Oathworm with the fast charge, and just like overwhelming numbers, and then he had enough infantry and units overall to kill the rest of Acer's army. So that was kind of what I was looking for. So my strat is basically use the fact that fast charge has a really specific timing that you have to hit. There's fast charge in general, there's 15 seconds of just a speed boost, and then 45 seconds of speed and charge bonus. So it's a minute long thing, but you are faster, but you're still not that much faster. I mean, against Rome, you have a pretty big speed advantage. Same against Acer's Nervii, where the Oaths were quite slow. So you have a pretty good speed bonus, but you can't just pop it like right now. You have to wait. So my strat is basically use that first 15 seconds where there's no charge bonus to basically engage him before he even gets the fast charge. So my strat is basically to walk forward, and then instead of running away, I'm when he's about to pop fast charge, I'm just gonna aggress into him. Charge my cav from angles on the sides, just tie his entire army down, get my units into melee, and then without a charge, of course, you expect my elite infantry, my extra Hastati in reserve, and my Triarii to absolutely dominate this fight. You know, of course, his Wodenaz will still be dangerous, but there's still spears against, you know, Evocati and veteran legionnaires. You do expect me to get an advantage there. And then, on top of that, once he's still blobbed, because he's not going to have a chance to spread out, when he's in this formation and I just YOLO charge into him. Of course, I'm going to lose a lot of cow doing that. That's fine. Then I just fucking pour the Syrian archer fire in precision shot into the blob and just get a lot of kills because he doesn't have a lot of armor. You can see even, you know, spear wall 60 armor, club levy 40 armor, bloodsworn 20 armor, Odinaz even 50 armor. So not a lot of armor on these guys. They do have good block chance, probably some of them. I'm trying to see if they have the same shields. Actually, they don't have the same shields, so maybe the club levy do. I don't know. But yeah, with 50 armor, you expect the Syrians to do a lot of damage. And then the only real factor is what does he do with these cav? Because again, I'm going to take a lot of cav casualties. I'm going to try to not use a couple of my cav. I obviously want to use my shock cav charging in. And then, you know, maybe a couple equities if I have to. But then I'm going to hold the flank with my Hastati and my cav to prevent his, you know, Noble Riders from doing anything. Noble Riders are not great, to be honest. They're like a pretty shitty melee cav. Obviously, they're much better than equities or anything like that. But it should mean, theoretically at least, that I have the option to basically tie them down and then get Hastati into those fights. Because I have a lot of melee infantry. Of course, he has 12, so he has more than me. But he's going to be blobbed. I can tie him down with only my front, you know, 5, maybe an extra Hastati. So that's 6 units, tying down his entire force because he's so not spread out. And then my extra Hastati, maybe my Vigile, whatever, can, you know, protect my rear. In conjunction with my cav, and then my general, my Numidians can try to snipe his slingers or whatever. Because the slingers will also be able to do a lot of damage, because I'm going to also be pretty blobbed, and he can also come to the flanks when I engage on the sides here, kind of surrounding him. You know, his slingers can get rear shots here, so that'll be an option. And he also has these scout riders that we'll have to be worried about, because they will be able to do, you know, quite good damage. So I'm immediately just shooting his infantry. This is good. This is to get him to come forward, because again, I don't think he expects my reaction, especially in this first game, to be to engage when he comes forward. You know, like when Asir saw Hoplite coming forward, he would just run away, and then he would get caught by fast charge. But my purpose is to get him to come forward to even fuck up his timing even more, basically. And so that he's walking forward, then he pops the ability, and I just run into him at that moment. So that's sort of the plan. You can see I'm rushing at him right now, too. This is just to, like, make him decide what the fuck to do. Pushing his slingers back, you can see his instinct is to come forward here and fast charge. This is exactly what I expect. You can see I'm already targeting his units with my infantry. Even though I'm coming a bit frontal here, this is probably not good. So now he hasn't popped it, and again, there's 15 seconds where he doesn't even have the buff. So my infantry can engage him in the next 15 seconds, even if he pops the ability right now. So let's see what happens here. I bait out javelins here with the Vigile. They're literally just eating shit from his entire army. But you can see I won't take any javelins here. He pops cavalry counter tactics, obviously. But now he's not getting any charges here. I am getting javelin by the Wodenaz, though, and so I'm going to start taking a lot of damage. A lot of damage, to be fair. But he still hasn't popped the ability. I don't think he realized. Now he pops it. But 15 seconds into this, I'm definitely already engaged. You can see here comes more charges from my Equites. Now he pops cavalry counter tactics here. Now I'm shooting his general with my archers. But you can see these guys are already engaged. And they're not getting a charge. They don't have the charge bonus. Look at that, though, in shield wall. 45 bonus versus large, 122 melee defense. You literally can't be touched. But even here, he's not getting fast charge. But he's very, very, very smartly leaving his Wodenaz out of this fight. And now he gets the buff, and now he engages the Wodenaz. So, yes, he didn't get a lot of charges. But his Wodenaz, his best units, are going to get the charge. They have 49 charge, and they're going to crash into my Veteran Legionnaires and my Triarii here and do a fuck ton of damage on the charge. You can already see the kills racking up there. So, it's not perfect for me here because he clearly had a plan here to have his Wodenaz in the back and get that charge no matter what. But at the same time, I've already fucked a lot of his units. So are the Wodenaz going to be able to do enough? Well, let's wait and see. So here comes another charge here. This is a terrible charge though. Just gets stopped. His spear wall getting fast charge now, but they're not really getting charges. I'm trying to withdraw my Evocati, but they're just getting shot in the back, or hit in the back, you know, not really good. I do withdraw these Veteran Legionnaires and just let these Triarii die. But now it's already kind of like a a risky situation. I do have a full veteran legionnaire back here. Again, on the flanks, you can see I have my Equites, my Astati, easily holding the rear. Here, this Equite comes in, but it takes a javelin volley. But it does deny a fast charge here, so that's pretty decent. Now these Wodenaz fast charge is probably fading here. He still has it, I guess. No, it's over now, so yeah, he didn't get a fast charge here. My veteran legionnaires are engaging. I still have a full unit here, pretty healthy unit here. He has done a good amount of damage to these units, but his fast charge is over now, and crucially, he lost a lot of other units. Like, these club levy are very weak, and they're not getting fast charge, so they're not going to do anything. You know, he has a full wooden nest back here, some spear wall, some weakened club levy here, but these guys should lose in extended melee if I can get the proper support in. I also have these Hastati quite healthy, killing off a Bloodsworn. You know, these Wodenaz are now not doing so well against this veteran legionary. And my archers continue to pour into the fire, against these Wodenaz facing the back here. So this should be quite good. However, his cav can now activate, and you can see I don't have a single full health cav unit. Like, everything is depleted, everything is pretty weak. So he has chances here with his cav to create something. And my infantry is not dominating. I thought my infantry would be like completely winning here, but they're not. They're doing well, but they're not doing great, you know? So this means that, if he can get a couple of crucial rear charges with his riders, he'll be in really good shape with his noble riders. He can actually win this, but my archers are really healthy, and his scout riders are not. He's been wasteful with his scout riders a bit. Here I see that this unit's routing, so I can just retreat this Hastati, and I want to get into his noble riders here with cav and infantry, because I know I can win that fight, combined. And here I should get a javelin volley into the rear of this noble rider. This is, just a miss micro from him, but it's going to be a very costly one. Instantly down 6 men. My javelins from the Numidians are here, and suddenly he's going to be fighting infantry and cavalry. He didn't get a charge, which would have KO'd this Equite as well. So this is really good, because now one of his 2 crucial units is going to go down for the count. And once that happens, it's going to be a lot harder for him to recover, because he doesn't want to use his general. He's going for my archers here, but again, the archers can withstand a charge, so I'm just using them as pretty much bait. Veteran Legionnaires against Wodenaz, this should be free for my Veteran Legionnaires. They will pretty much only lose on the charge a little bit. Tries to go into shield screen there, but I guess it didn't really work. But yeah, you can see the Veteran Legionnaires are taking a lot of damage, but they are winning. But shows how good the Wodenaz are there. Just doing absolutely massive damage. He pops Pride, but he only gets it on these couple units. I think he tried to also get it here, which would have been nice. But now again, his general is fighting with infantry support and archer support nearby, so he will kill this Equite pretty fast. But his noble rider is going down here. He gets a spear wall in here, but his spear wall is not really good against the Hastati. This Hastati will clean this up. I have my Extraordinary still a little bit alive. Now my general comes into play, goes for the slingers, kills them off for free. Now he's trying to retreat his general, but he's going to take extra losses for that. And he just can't really stand this sort of losses here for his cav, because his infantry, again, is still doing alright. Like, his infantry might actually win. Look at this Wodenaz still now winning against his veteran legionnaire, because his cav got into the rear of my shit. And he gets, recharged with these other Wodenaz spears, so he's doing really well. And he's actually winning the infantry war somehow. Even though I got all those charges in, he's still winning the infantry war. So, he's doing a good job of that, but his cav now, to win this infantry war, his cav had to get aggressive, and that was just like the turning point for me. My general can escape here. These Hastati are just going to win. He does get this noble rider out with 18 men, but I have these, extraordinary here. Here I just tie down his scout rider. Enough time to evac my archers, and if my archers can just survive here, they can kill everything. And with the, Hastati here, 79 and 115 Hastati, 59 Hastati. So my Hastati engaging in the late game. Okay, again, maybe he's still glitching there a little bit. But yeah, I just don't engage his general at this point. I want to clear up the stuff behind, use my Extraordinarii. Big hit onto those spear wall. Doesn't really cost me very much, but the spear wall will survive because they're just tanky as fuck. That's what they do. They might rout though. I shoot him in the back there a little bit as well. 8 men, they should rout. His Wodenaz though are going to start catching my archers. Now his general is going to go for my archers. He has to. I want to bait and charge with my Extraordinarii, obviously, so my Equite can then come in melee. But I'm going to kill his slingers as a consequence, and I'm just hoping that my 2 cav units with archer fire can just kill his general here. He does have this other noble rider, but I know I can kill it in 1 archer volley, so it's not a huge deal. This Wodenaz is going to catch my Syrians over here. which is kind of crazy, but they're quick as fuck. So now the archer fire is coming in. He does get a spear unit into here though, a Wodenaz, but it's down to 25 men. Here I have to focus down his Null Rider here. 2 volleys come in. Somehow it doesn't rout. It only loses like 4 men. So now he actually could catch this other Syrian archer, but the big one, 88 men, is still fighting here. Gonna kill his general off. And that's all I needed to do really. His cav is all dead. My cav is now recharging his Wodenaz. My Hastati are cleaning it up. And now there's just 2 Wodenaz left to hunt down. So now I'm just gonna go, engage them with my Hastati. He has 1 big Wodenaz here, but he's catching my other archer as well. Barely, somehow. I guess because he has charge speed. He's active and I'm active, so he's pretty fast. Again, they're only medium. This feels like it shouldn't be possible, but it's happening. So. And now at this point, I just... this unit just routes, but I just say, okay, let's just let him chase this unit and get tired. Which he is doing. And I'll just sit here and rest. Just playing this by the book. I don't have too much to study, but it should be more than enough. I'm just gonna go behind him here to try to keep him moving, but he is just resting. Now he's moving around a little bit, so he's gonna be tired. My units are all fresh at this point. Well, one's winded, I guess, but now I just engage, deny his charge, and just clean it up. So very close game. His infantry performed better than expected, I think, even though I got the charge in there. But look at the kills on the Woden, it's just ridiculous. Nothing else got really good kills, so that means that my strat was sort of working, but his Wodenaz being like 2 lines protected meant that I couldn't really get to them. You can see my infantry did pretty well, but you can see a couple of them just got rolled. The Triari didn't do anything. The Hastati, though, really, really good. Archers, really good, because they're firing into Wodenaz the whole time. And the Shock Cav, even though they just kind of like engaged frontally and got Javelin, look how many kills they still got, and the Equites as well. So the Cav did really well. The General obviously hunted on Slingers. So overall, not terrible. But I think the main takeaway was that infantry can still do a lot of damage even in my kind of counter strat because the Wodenaz still got charges off, and there's not really a way to get to the Wodenaz, or it might you might be able to surround, but then you risk getting rushed on a flank. So let's go into the second game and see if anything changes. And I can tell you right now, the armies are the same. So clearly Hoplite was like, yeah, I know your strat now. Like, I see what you're trying to do. I think I can beat it with the same army. No fear. And that's probably a fair shout, to be honest. If you look how good his infantry did, and again, he was totally not expecting that just frontal YOLO. So now if he's just a little bit more ready for that, I think he's wagering that he can also use his cav a bit better. Because again, that Noah Rider got caught for no reason and kind of wasted. He thinks like, look, that game, even though I didn't know what was going to happen, I still did really well. So I feel like I should be in good shape here, and he might be right. So doing some early skirmishing here. I want to keep my Numidians a bit more healthy than I did last game, because they were not healthy enough to do a lot of damage to his cav, and they kind of got killed by his Scout Riders. His Scout Riders did take good damage, but that was not from my Numidians. It was from him trying to kill archers and then getting charged by melee cav. I'm also wasting a lot of his javelins here, which is really good. Walking up and just shooting his melee infantry. This feels like the best thing I can do right now, because he's, his Wodenaz aren't really in range, and they're not as blobbed yet. These guys take so much damage to missiles that it seems like a good choice. Now you can see he's doing a better job rushing a flank here. This is what he wants to do. This is kind of his strat. I'm trying to surround here with my cav. You can see my tactic is to get a little bit better angles than last game, because last game I felt like I didn't really do a good job of charging in the flanks where I can do more damage. I charged right into his spear wall, so that wasn't ideal. Here my Vigilante is just gonna go in here and try to bait shit. I think I'm gonna turn it around here in a sec. Maybe not. Just go into melee against the spear wall, I guess. I didn't bait any javelins out this time, but these guys cannot throw javelins while they're meleeed. Obviously, the spear wall won't do a lot of damage either. I just pulled back now. You can see now I'm starting to take javelins. Still shooting, though, and this means he does have to rush. Like, the archer presence means he does have to rush. Sorry. But you can see I'm a bit out of position here, because he pops fast charge, and these guys are not 15 seconds away from getting into melee. Like, especially these guys. Maybe this guy can run in there, but he can always just back up and then recharge. So, That's not good for my strat to be so far away when he pops fast charge. My cav can tie him down, but again, my infantry needs to be following right up on that, and they're not doing that here, so this is going to be a lot riskier. And potentially I can just take a lot more damage. So here again, I just charge in this one avocado frontally. He doesn't have the bonus yet, so this is all good. Gonna kill off a couple spear wall for free, force him to throw reserves in here. But his units are very far back. So again, these guys not gonna get the charge bonus, so I can just charge in. There we go. Hello. But now he's gonna get a lot more units here. But I can, for one, charge this unit, for example, which will be really good. Still firing into the blob as well, getting a lot of kills into the club levy. These fights are going to be excellent for me. He only now gets the bonus. And okay, I didn't really achieve my goal, to be fair. But at the same time, I can still just YOLO into here and block him from charging whatsoever. And these charges are going to be a lot better because they're not into spear wall. So there's maybe a potential advantage to be had here, but definitely not ideal. This fight's going to be really good for me here. Avocado should just be able to 2v1 easily. Terraria should be able to fight this easily against his spear wall. So now he has this blob of fast charge units. Let's see what happens. Here comes the, like the obvious charges from the Extraordinary. Just going to YOLO into the first unit I see. But he's doing a good job again, baiting his Wodenaz here. I do kind of charge into both units, so this is a good job for me, denying the charge of the Wodenaz here. But here come the 36 charge bonus club levy. Honestly, these club levy are not great, even with fast charge. Again, I hit a lot of them, and they're already taking missile fire, so I do kind of block the charges here. My new minions are even coming in here just to throw some javelins, hoping his general was going to commit, but he doesn't. Now here come my units, but again, look what the mistake is here. The Hastadi are engaging immediately instead of protecting my rear, so now they're going to potentially be there's no reserves over here. Over here I'm going to win, but look how far away I was. These reserves are not coming in time. I have to shift everything over left here because we know where the engagement's going to happen. So again, getting good charge denials, but with 45 seconds for him to run forward with the rest of his army, he's going to get a lot of Wodenaz charges. He's going to get a lot of club levy charges. I don't take as much damage on my cav, so that's sort of good. Although I might take a lot of damage on the retreat here. But yeah, so now I've routed a couple of his club levy. That's all good. But here come a Wodenaz charge directly into Hastadi. They're just going to get like a bunch of kills right on the charge. But my, my focus fire from my Syrians is coming into the right place. I think if I don't make mistakes like this, blobbing here, if instead I just rotate, because look what he's doing. He's rotating around this flank, and he's trying to rear charge me here. I don't have a Hastadi to help in the melee fight anymore. So I'll have to commit my cav just 1v1 versus his better cav with Wodenaz support, and Slinger support, and Jab cav support, so that's not going to be good for me. And these Hastadi are just blobbing in a place where he doesn't even get a fast charge. Like, these fights are good for me. He is, my guys are taking some damage, to be fair. I'm not really sure why the Avocado are taking any sort of damage to his spear wall. But, because he didn't get a fast charge. We already saw that. But, now these Wodenaz and these spear wall are getting fast charges. So I have to deny the charge here. But I shouldn't be blobbing. I need to fight on the flanks with the Hastadi. And now, all I can do is hope that I can just shoot the fuck out of these units with my archers. But you can see how fast the Hastadi are dropping. The veteran legionaries are dropping. He's sure he is losing some, but look how many units are blobbed here. This is just so stupid. Blobbing into spear wall, the best defensive units that he has, is an obvious error. I can't charge here because he still has fast charge. Actually, it's over, but the ability looks like it's there, so I had to run away. And now he just gets into my archers. But I can see the ability is fading, so I'm like, okay, seems like a good time to just charge in here. Now I break out my Hastadi and say, okay, we can get in here. He blocked my charge here on my Terraria with his Wodenaz, so now these Wodenaz are going to do really well because I don't get a charge and I'm trying to run through them. But this is just terrible for me. Instead of just engaging, if they just engage, I Wodenaz easily win this. Or my Terraria easily win this. Instead they just get fucked. And now his Wodenaz are going to win. My Hastadi get into this fight, but this Noble Rider is full, so it's not really going to die. And he has so much infantry support here that it's going to be kind of bad for me. I am obviously winning on this flank pretty easily. I'm getting my guys through, but now his slingers are unpressured, and when I flank, he just shoots me in the back. His scout riders are in reserve here, and now my cav is just dying to the Wodenaz pretty much. His Wodenaz just comes through here and now charges into another unit of my Equites. They are dying to my archers, but very slowly. My cav can't approach these slingers. His general's just full back here waiting. And I am winning these infantry fights slowly, but obviously he has a lot of reserves. That's the thing. His wood knives are going to rear charge my avocado, which are already very weak. The spear wall are going to die to the Triaria, but the Triaria are only 60 men. This veteran legionnaire doesn't really have an option. Like, if he goes to fight here, he just gets shot in the back, so I have to run after his slingers and just hope that I can do something and kill off the slingers and then kill his infantry in the late game with archers. But it doesn't really seem like a very likely proposition at the moment. Here he's just noble riders continue their reign of terror here, 24 men, but they're just killing all my cav with the support of these Wodenaz, which are 118 men. These Wodenaz 109. These Wodenaz 110. So these Wodenaz have not taken any damage except for one Wodenaz that died over here. Maybe even. No, it's over here, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, none of his Wodenaz have died. Only Spearwall have died, and Club obviously. Pops Pride in a good point here, just to finish off this blob. But at this point, there's not much I can actually do. I'm losing all my cav. My slinger, you know, his general's full. So his infantry just dominated even harder here because I didn't really have a proper counter. My infantry was too far away to engage before fast charge really happened. I tried to flank, but again, this is basically what happened in the Astera games. Like, he just rushed one flank, he let me flank on the other side, it was too slow, and his overwhelming fast charge power just ruled everything. And the Wodenaz are so fucking good that, like, even my weakened, or even my, you know, yeah, I guess a little bit weakened infantry is no match for them. So, I really don't have a choice here but to kind of just lose. Cause even my veteran legionnaires here are still going to take massive damage to his spear wall and his Wodenaz. So, yeah. The spear wall are actually performing, like, ridiculously well. No lie. They're sort of like a mini Wodenaz. 25 attack is not even that terrible. They just don't have the weapon damage. Do the Wodenaz have the elite spear? No. But they have 30 weapon damage. Now I'm just like dying to his slingers. My veteran legionnaires are killing stuff off, but they're just, you know, hemorrhaging. And slowly but surely they're just gonna die. My archers finally are all alive. They didn't take too much damage, but the problem is that the rest of my army is just too weak here. I have no answer for these Wodenaz. I have no answer for his general. At this point, I just have to commit with these cav, which is okay. I have to commit here and then just go kill his slingers, lose my general, but kill his slingers. Trying to get my veteran legionnaires across to support this fight. Because, like, potentially, in a miracle world, if these veteran legionnaires get in here before my general dies, and then, like, this is just a blob, and everything dies in this blob because of the veteran legionnaire, then my archers can clutch this. Potentially. But my general is just too weak, obviously, just to leg out against a full noble rider. He has a Wodenaz in much closer support. I couldn't quite run away in time. I had to take this fight and just hope I could do something with it. But it's just GG at this point. And of course his Wodenaz for catching my archers. So 1-1 at this point I was like, okay. As much as I liked my strat, I think I need a better option because I look at the Wodenaz kills again. 182, 199, 99, 105. Like, insane kills. Veteran Legionnaires and Avocado, look, they even got great kills. But this time it was the Hastati that got wasted by engaging them too early and, like, blobbing. My Cav didn't get, even though my Cav was much healthier, they didn't get at all good engagements because, again, he wrapped around that flank and forced me to take Cav fights where his Wodenaz were, and I didn't have any reserves of my own, so that was really bad. Archers got fine kills again, but just not enough. His Terraria getting outclassed. So I was like, okay, his infantry is just winning every time. So I was going through different armies, like potentially going for 3 Terraria, potentially going for Gladiator Spearmen to help in the cav fight, and then, you know, just like win the cav fight and kind of kite his fast charge or something. But one army stood out to me, and I was really, really not sure if I should take it. I'm trying to find this games. Wrong way, okay. But in the end, I was like, look at how blobbed he is. A lot of his units are kind of bad, like the Club Levy. There's only one thing you can really do. It's take fucking Elephant and just YOLO the fuck out of him and see if potentially the Elephant can just kill all the infantry, because what is the problem right now? Infantry? What kills infantry? Elephants. Right? That's the sort of logic. It's a fucking meme strat for sure. And I was like, if I lose this series because I took a fucking elephant, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. But I was like, you know what? I think I have to try it. I have a game to play with because it's 1-1 right now and it's best of 5, so first to 3. So I can lose this game and still be alive. But now if I combine the YOLO charges with the elephant charge, if I can just tie down enough infantry so he doesn't get javelins on my elephant should just stomp everything, and then I'm gonna have a lot more reserves to clean up, the mess. So my army is very similar. Essentially, all I've changed is I ditched the archers, I traded my Evocati and my veteran legionaries for Principes, and I get an elephant, and I have a Vigile, as well, an extra Vigile, because I ditched 2 archers, get a Vigile and an elephant, and trade all my Evocati for Principes. So three Hastati, 3 Principes, 2 Triarii, 2 Vigiles, 2 Extraordinarii, 3 Equites, Legatus, Elephant, 1 Archer, 2 Numidians. So if you look at it and you think, because these elephants are pretty cheap, so what really happened is I just traded slightly worse melee. Like, obviously, Principes are a lot worse than fucking Evocati, but my Evocati were getting rolled by his Wodenaz anyway. I have exactly the same cav force, better support by 1 Vigile, so not really hugely better. Same cav force, 3 Hastati still, same, melee line, 3 infantry and 2 Triarii, 2 Numidians still, but I have this elephant. So my goal now is like, okay, I have an elephant, so this really like prevents him from just like doing this fucking rush shit, because even if he rushes, my elephant can be in quick support and still roll everything. So my goal is to like surround a little bit more now, because I'm not too worried about the flank attack. And I know that my cav doesn't have to do as much YOLOing as long as I can tie everything down. I have 2 Vigiles to help tie shit down and waste javelins. If I can just surround early on, because what I really want to do is make sure these Wodenaz can't get javelins on my elephants. Everything else I know I can tie down in melee, but he's always leaving these Wodenaz in reserve to just like kind of chill out and then charge with fast charge. And equally valuable in this case would be to chill out and then javelin my elephants. So I want to be a little bit more aggressive, surround and tie down at least these edge Wodenaz with my cav and then my infantry, and that will force him to either sit around and javelin my elephants or engage his Wodenaz with fast charge. If he does that, they will not, be able to javelin my elephants anymore. And my elephants can wait a little bit and say like, look, sure, either you're gonna fast charge things, or you're gonna wait to javelin my elephants. But if you wait to javelin my elephants, fast charge is gonna be over. I'm also being very aggressive with my Numidians because I want to waste his javelins, either by killing his men or having him throw javelins on me. So even though this Numidian's being, killed, it's wasting javelins. Look at it, like, look how aggressive I am. I'm just running into his javelins so I can trade. It's a little bit bad here because I took 2 javelins to 1, and that last one was, not good to take. But at least I'm wasting all his javelins. He only has 7 javelin volleys or whatever. Yeah, 7 javelin volleys, so, like, he doesn't have a ton. He already wasted, like, 4, probably, on those units, so. And he's also lost a lot of men on some of these units as well. There's another javelin volley wasted, so I'm wasting a lot. This side I'm actually just winning the javelin war, so I'm just gonna kill this unit off pretty much. And now his slingers are firing, but just into my Vigiles. And you can see, look how this surround coming in. You can see I have my middle units like farther back, and then these outer units a bit ahead, so I can start this surround early. I see him trying to rush to a flank. I'm just gonna rotate my army. 28 men on that scout rider, so they're taking a lot of damage. So now you can see I just back up for a second and say, hold on here. I know you're trying to rush this flank. Let's just like give that up and let my Vigiles just kind of pressure your slingers. Again, like taking more javelin volleys. I don't quite dodge this in time though, because I was making other stuff. So again, he probably only has like 2 or 3 more javelin volleys left on these units though. So like if I can bait them out with this unit and this unit combined, then he'll be out of ammo. He wastes another javelin volley on my study here. It's not a waste, but considering I have an elephant on the field, you really want to just save javelins for the elephant. Again, this unit is just going to go down. It's down to 14. Probably got a route. Bait another javelin volley here, or like half a javelin volley. Gonna keep running forward here. He's using his slingers to great effect. He knows I only have 1 archer, so I'm not doing the missile war. So he's just able to shoot down my Vigiles, but again, my Vigiles are like, whatever, they're just fodder. Finally, he's gonna kill off my rider, but again, he probably only has 1 javelin volley. Here, my archers have to come screen my elephant, so they don't get javelined. Almost hitting his Jevka there, but not really. This unit's like basically dead, so I'm not even worried about it now. I just send my Numidians, my big Numidian over here, so that I can waste even more of these guys' javelin volleys, and my small Numidian can go deal with his small scout rider. Now he's almost at the red line, so he's gonna have to engage eventually here. You can see the surround is already coming in. My cav is walking for some reason instead of running. So I kind of see that he might stay here, so I just delay for a second. I'm getting my cav to the flank. These cav are on the flank as well. My elephant is ready to do something if needed. Here I'm going to go bait out some javelins with the Vigiles. Classic. 1 javelin volley down, 2 javelin volley down. So like a lot, just wasting javelins. Waiting for my cav to surround. I think he's also just trying to think about how he wants to play this. Given that I have this elephant now. I have an elephant, and really my army hasn't changed in composition because I still have the same infantry corps. So he's still like wondering what to do here. Here he's gonna take even more javelins and just actually kill this Chile. So whatever, it's dead. But now he's gonna waste even more javelins here. But while he's doing this, I'm also getting the surround like completely in. You can see my surround is actually perfect now for me to charge and hit his flank units so they can't javelin my elephant, and my elephant can just run in through the side here and engage shit. So he's gonna have to pop fast charge eventually here. He doesn't want to engage my Hamilkar there, or Principes actually. So now you can even see I'm just gonna YOLO in here for his cav, because that's gonna force him to turn around, and look, my Stocky Extraordinary, I can just charge his general in the flank. He's been too slow here. He finally pops fast charge, but I think it's a bit too late. My cav is just coming in. Here, I know here, if he engages, this guy's never going to throw down. Like, he's going to be forced to fight my cav here. My Stadi are coming in. My Principes are coming in. My Triarii are coming in. He still doesn't have fast charge for another, like, 10 seconds. So, I know he's going to get some charges off. But again, charges are not that bad. If he charges in with fast charge into my units, he's not javelin my elephants. So, it's not a huge deal. My 1 archer is shooting his general at this point, I think. Oh no, it's not. It's still back there. Here I try to charge these guys, but again, he didn't even have fast charge yet, so it's okay. Now, second ability of fast charge is on, but again, look how many units are not getting a charge here. This unit's not getting charged, this unit's not getting charged, this unit's not getting charged, this unit's not getting charged. Like, half his army is not getting a charge. He does have these 6 units, essentially, that can get charges, but again, my elephant's still baiting, so is he going to charge and save his other units that are getting fucked, or is he going to wait and try to javelin my elephant? That's the question. Here I tried to slip through this gap, but I get stuck here. His general was getting targeted. His slingers are getting charged. Like, everything's just getting charged here. His general's already down 10 men because they got javelined by my Hastati. So this is just like an even more chaos rush strat. He does have his riders back here to, potentially javelin my elephant. But again, they're almost out of javelins at this point. They might even be out of javelins. Yeah, they are. They're out of javelins at this point. So he doesn't have any javelins there. I connect the charge here with these club levies, so they're dead. And now he's again not sure if he should charge. He gets a couple of charges with these club levy, but now here come the elephants and my reserve infantry as well. And now the morale is just going to be really shit on these guys that are losing, getting charged, and there's an elephant. So again, now he commits these guys, but they're not throwing javelins. My extraordinary are still really healthy despite charging. My equites are just like dead. Well, actually they're half strength with their routing. His units are all tied down here. Here comes the elephant. Just busting in here. It's going to start wavering all these units. I guess his Wodenaz aren't going to really care. But now my extraordinary can just YOLO into his slingers. My equites or my minions are just hunting down other slingers that are routing. And even over here where the elephant isn't, the engagements are still pretty decent. Look, Principes are full health, Triarii are full health. His Wodenaz are now getting in there. He does try to get a javelin, but everything's too close range now. He doesn't actually get any javelin volleys off. I get my equite through this flank. These elephants are just YOLOing through. They're at 5 men, so they probably did take a javelin volley somewhere. But they already have 130 kills. I second win them. And now he's probably just like not going to be able to get any more javelins anywhere. They have 170 kills now. And now it's just like they're doing enough damage where my melee is just now better. These guys don't get a charge because the elephant's so spread out that probably the middle of the unit is like over here, so they couldn't throw javelins. But now the elephants are just, YOLOing. Doing what elephants do. He obviously has a lot of spears, so the elephant should die eventually, but they're just getting too many kills. 230 kills now. Now my infantry is just better. I can get surrounds. He's also dealing with this like chaos in the backline, so my other cav units can just recharge. And now his general's getting hunted. The elephant still at 4 men with 270 kills. So the elephant actually just like went on a demolition derby and just kind of rolled everything. The trample definitely helped as well. getting into the rear of these guys. Now the spear wall wavering. Yeah, let's go back into these Wodenaz, why not? 295, so they're gonna get 300 kills. And now my infantry, the point though, is that the plan worked exactly as according to plan. Like, the infantry advantage for him was a lot better, and now there's an elephant, and so the infantry is definitely gonna be in my favor. And the elephant, I mean, it just continues its reign of terror. I mean, 330 kills. He just has no counter to it at this point. He just has to sit there and hope that the spears eventually kill him, but he just missed his feet. I mean, that game was over. The elephant probably could have got 400 kills there. But yeah, look how healthy my infantry was in comparison, and also the surrounding that I was able to do. And again, he didn't want to do anything because if you just fast charge into a flank, the elephant is going to be there, so he can't really do that. And so it allows me to surround, and then I was able to like go all out in my YOLO instead of just hitting into a spear wall. I'm like YOLOing into his rear, and this allows me to block a lot more charges, and it also allows me to tie down his cav, his slingers, his jav cav, everything is just tied down, and then the elephant just comes in and cleans up. But you can see his Wodenaz, like, not doing a lot. Again, he didn't really get that many good charges because he's worried about the elephant. More of his Wodenaz got tied down without getting a charge, so everything kind of goes according to plan here. So now he will have to make a change, you know, like, he can't allow that to happen again. Maybe it's a tactical change, maybe it's an army change, and it's a bit of both in the end. But nothing too serious. I think he makes like the right adjustment, to be honest. So I go for exactly the same army, and you know, whatever. Same army for me. He goes for 4 scout riders immediately. This is like the most logical change you can make. It's a free javelin unit that's very mobile, so it can't, you know, get blocked, and you can javelin the elephant. Just at least just a muck it, and prevent him from, you know, from having to use Wodenaz javelins. The other change to facilitate that is he has 4 club levy instead of that 1 bloodsworn. No big deal there. Just to get a little bit more money, and then he drops a slinger to actually get that extra unit. So other than that, same army, 4 spear wall, for 4 club levy, 4 Wodenaz, 2 noble riders, 2 slingers, and 4 javcav. Now I'm really outnumbered here, but I have to go for the same strat. I just have to try to waste his javelins as much as possible. I won't have the luxury of having that 1v1 on the right flank like I did before, where I could actually win it and then send, you know, help to the left. Here it's just going to be 2v1s everywhere, but at least I'm starting off on a good foot here, getting 11 kills on the scout riders early. Big deal. Not taking a lot of damage myself, wasting javelins, baiting those out. And my strat, you can see from the deployment, is exactly the same. You can see how I'm aggressive on the flanks. I'm forming like this U shape, so I can surround easily. And then my Vigiles should at least like either will block a rush or just kind of sit here and bait javelins like I did before. Just skip forward here. Javelins are coming in. He's not microing this unit perfectly. He loses a lot of men there. Here again, I'm winning this fight, but I have to just withdraw because he has a unit behind me. But at least I'm doing a lot more damage to his scout riders, so this is like perfect for me. Now, even though it's 2v4, my minions are so fucking quick and they do so much damage that I can just like kind of go between them, bait out javelin volley here, run back, bait out javelin volley on the next unit. And here again, it's going to be a little bit of dancing here while he tries to rush a flank. And also, you know, while he tries to rush a flank, you can see he's obviously going for this flank here. I'm going to try to surround on the opposite flank, kite here, and surround a little bit on this flank as well. But I really want to, like, maneuver so that my center of my army matches up with his blob, so that my, you know, Hastati and my, you know, units on the flank can just start surrounding a bit. So I make a little rotation here, or, like, shift. He's trying to play more passive with the scout riders, which makes a lot of sense to keep the javelins for the elephant. You can see the elephant is just in the center of my army. That way, if he rushes a flank, I just run away and send the elephant in. And the Vigilante can, like, buy me time. My Cav can buy me time. So, again, he's still trying to surround here, so I just will have to back up. We play the waiting game. He might just go for it here, though. You never know, because, again, you can always just catch me. My guys are so slow. But no, you can see, look, my surround is pretty quick here. My infantry are trying to get a lot closer. I have at least some infantry right behind him at all times. And I thought for this game, like, he would try to make it a lot harder for me to surround. Because last game I just surrounded him so easily before we did anything about it. But it was, like, obviously going to be too easy for me to just, like, tie everything down. So this game I didn't expect it to be so easy. to surround, and it really hasn't been. He's been rotating a lot more, trying to pressure a flank. But now, like, I'm in a good spot here where I'm far back on the side he's trying to rush, but still kind of on his flank, and I'm running at him on the other flank. So, and my, my center units are still right in front of him to, like, YOLO frontally and just, like, tie things down. Numidian's trying to get aggressive. He's also wasting javelins on my, like, Hastati and stuff. He will get kills, but again, the elephant is the only thing that matters here. Here, javelins come in, but one's going to be on my Hastati, so, like, when I throw my own javelins, should be pretty good. Into the back of these scout riders, get a few kills, why not? So he still hasn't popped fast charge, still hasn't popped fast charge. We're waiting, we're waiting. Now you can see he's going to go for it. Like, this sort of running forward centrally maneuver is, like, pretty much admitting that he just has to YOLO fast charge, and maybe he'll, like, run forward and then take a turn once he has the speed bonus, but he's not going to run forward and not pop fast charge because this doesn't allow me to surround him. So you can expect the fast charge right here. Even now, you probably should pop it earlier. You have so long with fast charge that I think people always do this wrong. Like, you should just charge. Because you have a whole minute to catch up to shit. You're going to catch me, especially with the 2 cav. So now, he hasn't popped it yet, but now he's doing the same thing as before, where he's kind of letting me surround, so he kind of gave up the game here a little bit. Here, again, I'm wasting 2 javelin volleys from the Wodnaz, from the spear wall, from the club levy. Everything's just wasting javelin volleys. He's sort of shifting here. I just run away, he runs away. We're all good to trade javelin volleys, for me at least. Again, my infantry is right up on this flank. Hastati ready to pounce on the flank. Hastati ready to pounce on the flank. Cav on his flank. He is killing some of my cav here. But he's just, again, I think here he's just let me surround a bit too much. This looks exactly like last game, if I'm honest. And now here, I'm just going to, like, engage. He hasn't even popped fast charge yet. I know I can catch him in the rear here. Tie down the spear wall. Here comes the charge again. Now he pops it, but look how close I am. I mean, like, these guys are literally already in the charge. These guys are already been charged and tied down, so I'm immediately going to just charge in here, because I know these guys aren't getting the charge. And again, if he wants to commit, then he doesn't get javelins on my elephant. So the more I can, if I can tie down his non-fast charge units, like these guys aren't going to get a charge on my Principes here, that forces him to make the decision. Either he lets these guys die to my Principes and doesn't commit these guys, in which case I don't even use my elephant, or he waits, or he charges in to my Principe to kill it off and like not lose these guys for free with his fast charge units in like 5 seconds when he actually gets fast charge. But now my elephant is just a free lurker on the flank. And now, okay, here comes his other charges. Again, all my units are aggressive on the flank. These guys can just charge in. Might be a bit slow, but like whatever. Wasting a javelin volley. I mean, not wasting, obviously he kills some extraordinary, but like not getting a charge. Here he sees that these guys are a bit further back, so he wants to come into them. But he still doesn't have the bonus yet. Here I'm just going to tie down his edge units here with my Equite. And now I think he's just getting out, like, he just has too much micro to handle. Like, I'm going for his general. These guys just use the javelin volley, so they don't have a spare one. His noble rider getting charged by my extraordinary, and only now does he have fast charge. All these units have their charges blocked. The Hastati are going to fight the Cav. So again, using my Hastati in a anti-Cav role here by helping against the noble riders, while my Principes will tie down this blob. These guys will get fast charge in the center here, but I can potentially like bait their charge out. These guys, none of them are getting fast charge. Maybe these Wodnaz did, but it doesn't seem like it since the Hastati are still pretty healthy. Okay, these guys definitely will get fast charge. These spear wall can get fast charge if he just, gives another order here. But for the majority of his units, like, they're not getting javelins, and now the elephant, I'm going to come in from a different angle this time. Instead of going all the way around the flank, I'm just going to run right through his spear wall, run up this flank, and kind of just engage. This spear wall didn't look like they get a charge against my Hastati. All these guys didn't get a charge into my Principe. So look, Principe is 120 men. Very nice. Here my Hastati probably will get owned by these Wodnaz, but it's a necessary evil. He uses another javelin volley you saw there. So here come the elephants. He does, to his credit, try to withdraw this spear wall and then recharge. But you need to get a lot further than this to do it, because especially with fast charge, they're going to be so quick, they're not actually going to be able to throw the javelins, I don't think. So he is trying to back up, I guess. So now I just can send these Equites in to tie these guys down. My Triarii are going to tie these guys down. So at best, he's going to get one javelin volley here. But even then, you can see he's already, like, these guys are already being engaged by the elephant. So if you give an attack order here, they will not throw their javelins, I'm fairly sure. This club level he might be able to, though. Sorry. Over here, you can see it's just a fucking massive blob. I'm gonna lose this blob easily. Yes, Wodenaz here with cavalry counter tactics probably. So they're gonna eat up these units, but they're just buying me time. And all of his cav is engaged here, so I'm freely killing his slingers, pressuring his jab cav away, and my cav can just keep cycle charging. And the elephant is now getting into action. So yeah, he does get one javelin volley here, very nice. Will insta amok the elephant, but it doesn't amok it, I guess. I guess maybe it mucked and instantly unamucked, but now the elephant is just going to start racking up the kills because these guys are so light that the elephant is super, super powerful here. He does realize, though, that he can retreat his cab safely here with the Wodenaz engaged. Tries to get a few more javelin volleys, potentially with these Wodenaz. But my cab are just chasing and tying everything down. Elephant kills this shit. Over here, this Principe, remember, he had full fast charge, but this Equite just blocked all these charges, so this Principe is going to be very healthy here. Not going to take much damage. Triarii, I see that this is a potential unit to javelin my elephant, so Triarii just say, nope, I am going to tie you down. Not let you do that. Lots of units are just wavering here. He pulls out another unit here, but my Saki Extraordinarii kind of just come through this gap and potentially tie it down. You can see a couple of the men are all the way over here for some reason, but that was the attack order. Blocking all these units, recharging all these units. Now the elephant just comes into his general. Comes into these Wodenaz and Spear Wall. Elephant already has 260 kills, like, holy shit. It is very tired now, but it hasn't lost a single man. Unlike the other game where it was like instantly down to 5, like it hasn't lost anything. Here I can literally just like, I see that this might be a javelin volley, so I just literally just back my elephant up. Retreat it over here. I can always refight. I'm winning every fight. I do not need to like overextend my elephant. Here it finally does take a javelin volley, to be fair. And mucks it. Nicely done from him. That could go anywhere. But he doesn't have any other follow-up for that. And it was a very small javelin volley, so you expect the muck to last very little amount of time. I might kill some of my own men here. But like, it's not a huge deal. I second wind the elephant. Don't know if that really would help with the mucking situation here, but it's fine. Like, my infantry is absolutely dominant at this point. I have more than enough to win. All this stuff is just wavering from the elephant situation. And now it's unamucked, so it only took like, 10 seconds to amuck. Archer fire coming into his general. Rear charges coming in everywhere. And he simply just doesn't have enough material at this point. All of his stuff just routes. The elephant is OP, has 350 kills. Even the elephant is just going to charge into his recount rider. He didn't have any javelins left, so I did a good job wasting his javelins, clearly. 380. Will it get to 400? Probably not. No. Very crazy games. Like, to have an elephant win the game is just insane, but Suebi has that kind of weakness. And well played to Hoplite. Like, the fact that my initial strat was failing and I had to go to this strat, which I didn't even think about beforehand. Like, literally, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for those YOLO charge strats and then just win. When it failed in that second game so decisively, I was like, okay, I actually have no hope doing this. It's too risky. It doesn't, it doesn't give me a big enough chance to win. I gotta change something. And this elephant tactic, I think also, it wasn't just the elephant, it was the surrounding. And I'm not sure, like, I think the elephant is causing me to be able to surround more easily because he has more things to worry about than if it's just infantry surrounding him. But the ability to surround and tie down those edgemost Wodenaz units was a big, big thing that was helping me out. And also just like charging directly into his cav and tying them down and then throwing my Hastati into those fights. Again, really, really big. Keeping him blobbed up and preventing him from surrounding because like his Wodenaz that were in the middle, the edge ones would get tied down by my cav and then my infantry, but his edge Wodenaz couldn't then flank around the flank because my cav was fighting his cav. So his Wodenaz were forced to just engage the cav, and when they did that, they were not able to flank. My infantry fights got, easier there, and he was just completely surrounded instead of like in game 2 where you can see I engaged on one flank and then he just started surrounding me there, and I was instantly kind of fucked because he would just recharge me with fast charge units. In this game, he was completely enveloped by my surround. He had no flank opportunities. His Wodenaz in the center, his club levy in the center were either just dead or forced to just fight frontally because he couldn't flank all the way around. And that made my infantry a lot more successful. Because Principe is no match for Evocati or Veteran Legionnaires, but their engagement situation was much, much better. As for this army, I think it did fine. Again, it just kind of succumbed to the same thing. I think what I would have done here is just like not fast charge everything. I think he's a little fixated on getting the fast charge on everything, which is like a super common thing. But I think you just need to leave 2 club levy or like a club levy or two club levy and maybe a Wodenaz out in reserve far back behind your army, and they are just like the elephant killer units. And they just sit there and they wait because the rest of your army with fast charge is more than enough to do a lot of damage to me. That will also allow your like cav to be a bit more aggressive. Your scout riders don't have to be so worried about killing the elephant, although you could also leave like two scout riders to like with full ammo off of fire at will to just deal with the elephant as well. But I think he just like stuck to his strat, and in the end, it wasn't really a good way to deal with the elephant. It just let him get surrounded. But we saw from game two and game one too, like how powerful his strat was. So I think really good play from Hoplite. I think in the end, the elephant strat was just like a step too far. It was kind of crazy, but it worked well. Um, I'm glad I went with it in the end, obviously. It could have very easily backfired. Like, he has so many spears with cavalry counter tactics. All of his units have javelins. Like, could have easily backfired. But because he had this fast charge situation, it put the elephant in like a perfect storm to dominate and end up killing a lot of infantry, which is exactly what I needed. And these elephants are quite cheap, so it was a really good investment. You can see from the rest of my army, it doesn't really affect what my game plan was. Like, have the 5 heavy infantry, the 2 Triaria, and the 3 swords, the 3 Hastati, the 5 cav with the 2 shot cav, and the 2 Numidians. That was sort of my base. Then I have these Vigiles as fodder. I had 1 extra archer, which literally didn't do anything, so. But there's nothing else I could really buy. I guess I could get out like a Gladiator Spearman or something, but that didn't really seem very useful. So yeah, the elephant was cheap enough where it didn't affect my game plan to YOLO and to be aggressive, and it really helped kill the infantry, which was obviously the factor I couldn't really deal with in the first couple of games. So, yep, GG's, well played. Hope you enjoyed these kind of crazy battles. Suebi always an interesting faction to watch, especially when it's being utilized effectively, which it definitely was being by Hoplite. So well played to him. Good stuff. And so now I'm in the final. We'll see who that's against, but there are some really interesting lower bracket matchups. So the way the lower bracket is right now is it's Ragnar versus Acer. Winner of that plays Tila, and winner of that plays Hoplite. So you better believe there's gonna be some exciting lower bracket matchups if they ever fucking get played. So exciting stuff. Hopefully I'll bring some more of those. Thanks for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Peace.